Adrian's as he hesitantly shares the memory of losing his father during the pandemic, his voice breaking slightly. Claire's eyes well up, and for the first time, the laughter and playful banter fades, replaced by quiet understanding and an almost electric vulnerability that draws them closer. They support each other through small gestures, sending motivational memes, leaving voice notes when they are too tired to type, and checking in multiple times a day. Their video calls start to expand beyond work hours. Morning coffees become a ritual. One yawns and the other laughs in perfect sync. They begin to watch movies together online, pressing pause at the same time, mimicking reactions, sharing popcorn over video. Adrian surprises Claire with a handwritten note slipped into a package of snacks. Claire sends a doodle of him in a notebook, tiny gestures that make their connection irresistible. Some nights they fall asleep with laptops open, murmuring goodnight into the MIC, and the screen captures a faint glow of their faces as if they are finally seeing each other fully. Tension builds subtly. Adrian notices Claire laughing at a joke from a male co-worker in a group chat, jealousy tightening his chest. Claire sees Adrian joking with a female colleague during a late meeting, and her stomach twists in anxiety. The stakes rise as Adrian receives a promotion offer in Tokyo, a chance of a lifetime that could pull them apart. Claire hears whispers of layoffs at her company, and suddenly the safe bubble of their virtual world feels fragile. Each text that goes unanswered, each frozen video frame, turns into an emotional cliffhanger the audience feels every heartbeat. Then the walls they built through months of screens, messages, and video calls crumble. She laughs through tears, and he mirrors it, both of them shaking as if the world outside doesn't exist. He steps inside, dripping on her living room floor, and she grabs a towel without breaking eye contact. Their hands brush, linger, and finally clasp tightly, as if the universe itself has synchronized their heartbeats. That night, they collapse side by side on her couch, laptops shut, voices low and trembling as they share everything they hadn't been able to say over video. Dreams, fears, regrets, the tiny absurdities of their remote routines that suddenly seem monumental now that they are real. Adrian tells her about the notes he kept of their messages, printing every single screenshot like sacred pages of diary. Claire laughs and then cries, confessing she replayed their late-night calls in her mind countless times, imagining him right there. Morning comes with sunlight spilling through her blinds, and the first real coffee together tastes richer than any virtual latte. They take a long walk through the city streets, holding hands, navigating the bustling world outside their apartments. Each passerby, honking taxi, street musician is a backdrop of their newfound closeness. The audience feels a relief, the thrill of seeing love leap off screens into the real world. Even mundane moments become charged with intimacy. Grocery shopping becomes a game of playful teasing. Cooking dinner together is a dance of laughter and near misses, and reading quietly side by side brings them a comfort they hadn't known they were missing. Adrian's Tokyo offer still exists, and Claire worries that the real world could pull them apart again. Adrian had barely processed the news of his promotion when the weight of what it meant hit him. Tokyo, an ocean away, a new life that sounded like success on paper but felt like ripping his heart from everything he'd built with Claire. He wanted to share it with her, but every time he saw her on screen lately, her eyes seemed distant, her smile delayed, her words clipped like she was pulling back. What Adrian didn't know was that Claire had just come from a tense meeting where her boss casually suggested cutting Adrian's remote contract to save money, hinting that maybe he wasn't essential. The thought of losing him professionally and personally sent her spiraling, but the fear of admitting her feelings out loud froze her tongue. So she dodged his calls, typing quick excuses about being busy, hiding the panic in tears. Adrian misread every silence, every unanswered ping. To him, it looked like she was moving on, slowly fading him out. Then came the virtual office happy hour. Claire, restless and guilty, joined late only to see Adrian laughing harder than she'd seen in weeks, shoulders relaxed, his face glowing at something a female co-worker said. That image seared into her, jealousy striking before she could stop it. Did he already replace the late-night calls, the morning coffees, the whispered secrets that made him feel less alone? Adrian, noticing her brief login before she clicked out, felt the sting too. Was she angry, or just done with him? Alone in their separate rooms, across time zones and distance, both lay awake staring at the ceiling, their hearts tangled in fear, love, and miscommunication. Adrian drafted a message he couldn't send. If I move, would you want me to stay? Claire typed and deleted confession over and over. I'm terrified of losing you. Neither hit send. Adrian packs the news away inside himself like a heavy stone, the Tokyo offer buzzing the back of his mind every second of the day. And Claire keeps replaying the image of him smiling at another woman through the glowing Zoom square, her stomach twisting with something she can't even name, both of them drifting into a storm of silence that feels louder than any fight, his missed calls piling up, her unread messages staring back at him. Until one night Adrian types a long message he never sends, his thumb hovering over the enter key before he deletes it all and just types, "Good night." And Claire reads it, her chest tightening with guilt because what she really wants is to run into his arms, not push him away. So she sends the package instead, a simple handwritten note with the words, "Don't forget why we started talking in the first place, you made me feel less alone." And when Adrian opens it, the letter trembles in his hands. He feels the ache of every unsaid word, every near-miss moment, and calls her instantly, his voice breaking when he says, "Claire, I don't care if it's Tokyo or the moon, none of it means anything if you're not in my life." And Claire finally blurts out between tears, "I'm terrified of losing you before I even get to have you." Claire's heart sinks as a screen freezes mid-sentence, panic rising like a wave that drowns every ounce of confidence. And just when she thinks her career is about to implode in front of executives, Adrian's voice cuts in smooth and steady, picking up her points with such precision and passion that the meeting not only survives but ends in applause, her name shining brighter than ever thanks to him. And when the call finally ends, she wants to thank him, to pour her gratitude into words, but instead she's stopped cold in the hallway by two colleagues whispering, "Did you hear? Adrian's leaving for good. He's got an overseas deal lined up. He won't even say goodbye." And suddenly the smile on her face cracks, her chest tightening as every memory of their late-night calls and quiet confessions flashes through her mind, replaced by the terrifying thought that maybe she was just a passing moment in his story, maybe his rescue was a farewell gift. And as Adrian approaches with that familiar warmth in his eyes, Claire's torn between demanding the truth and pretending she never heard, her voice trembling with questions she's too afraid to ask, the suspense twisting like a knife because the next word out of his mouth could either shatter her world or save it. Adrian steps closer, his expression unreadable, and for a moment the world feels like it's holding its breath, the clamor of the office fading until it's just the two of them caught in the silence between truths, and Claire forces a smile she doesn't feel, her throat tight as she mumbles a soft, "Thank you for earlier." But Adrian only studies her face like he's searching for the part she's hiding, his hand brushing haze in a fleeting spark that makes her knees weak. Then he says quietly, "There's something I need to tell you, but I don't know if it's the right time." And her pulse races because this could be it, the confirmation of the rumor or the confession of what she's prayed to hear. Yet before she can push him, his phone buzzes with an international code flashing across the screen. Rain lashes the New York skyline, streaking the glass panes of Claire's apartment as she sits hunched over her laptop, dark circles under her eyes, her fingers trembling on the keyboard not from fatigue alone but from the silence that stretched endlessly since the fight to call where Adrian's voice, usually steady and grounding, had cracked into anger, accusing her of walls she swore she didn't build, while she had flung her own fear back at him, spitting that he was never there when it mattered, and the click of the hang-up still echoes like a wound. Hours later, the sting remains, a hollow ache that no work deadline can bury, and as she stares blankly at a screen, her best friend's voice replays in her mind, sharp yet tender. "You're not scared of losing the project, Claire. You're scared because this isn't just remote work anymore. It's real love." Across the ocean, Adrian sits in his dim apartment, suitcase half open, heart pounding as his sister leans against the doorway, arms crossed but eyes soft with understanding. "You think distance is what's breaking you too?" she asks. "No, distance isn't the problem, Adrian. Fear is." And in that moment, with the rain hammering harder outside, he makes a decision that terrifies and liberates him at once. He books a flight, the first one allowed, because if he waits any longer, he'll lose her to silence, and he can't bear that thought. Hours later, Claire's apartment is drowned in the sound of rain when the doorbell rings. She drags herself to the door, expecting a neighbor, a delivery, anything but him. Yet there he is, Adrian, suitcase at his side, soaked through but with eyes that burn with the fire of every word left unsaid. She gasps, her hand trembling on the doorknob, and before she can speak, he steps closer, rain dripping onto her floor, his voice low but steady. "Work was remote, but my heart never was." Something breaks open inside her, and suddenly she's in his arms, clutching him like she'll never let go, their kiss desperate, rain and tears blurring into one. The walls, the fear, the distance all dissolve into that single heartbeat they now share in the same space. At last. The screen fades to their future, standing side by side in front of a room full of executives, no longer just faces on Zoom squares, but partners in every sense, presenting their next big project with laughter in their eyes and their hands brushing in secret touches under the table. A montage follows them racing through Central Park, stealing kisses in Times Square, sharing coffee on rainy mornings, the city becoming their playground, no longer trapped behind screens. And just when their love finally feels safe, the universe tests him again. Adrian receives a sudden call offering him a groundbreaking opportunity in Tokyo, the very promotion he once thought impossible, and Claire is torn between celebrating his success and fearing she'll lose him all over again. But instead of running from the fear this time, she faces it head on, telling him through trembling words and tear-filled eyes that she doesn't care if it's Tokyo, New York, or anywhere else, as long as it's together. And in that raw honesty, the hook becomes even stronger for viewers because it's no longer just about remote meetings or digital walls. It's about the terrifying beauty of choosing love when the whole world keeps pulling you apart. The kind of story that leaves audiences breathless, leaning closer, desperate to see if Claire and Adrian will fight for love across continents or let the glow of screens and the weight of distance tear them apart again. And with every look, every risk, every leap of faith, the viewers know they are witnessing not just a romance, but a once-in-a-generation love story that could belong to any of them if only they are brave enough to claim it.